Tonight on Unsolicited Conjecture, Skyrim comes out again. 10 years later, it's back.
And in real news, we're going to be talking about America Airlines and how they're introducing facial recognition software into baggage claims in order to speed up the process. Sounds very video gamey.
Then, look out, here come the Spiderman? Spidermen? Spidersman. Spidermen?
Multiple spiders?
Spidersman?
I don't know. We saw the preview and I only saw one.
Oh.
But I hear you have some theories about this.
I have theories. All this and more tonight.
Music!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Unsolicited Conjecture, a show here on YouTube where we say things that you didn't ask us to. I'm Josh Thompson, and always with me is Jeremy Deal. Jeremy, say hello.
Hello.
And back to me. Now, no. So how are you doing today, Jeremy?
No complaints, no complaints. I'm excited in a couple days, tomorrow, actually.
Tomorrow's the big day.
Tomorrow, excited.
Ghostbusters Afterlife comes out. So if you want to do the math and figure out when we recorded this, be my guest.
There you go. You're gonna see some clips. We're gonna record some stuff when we go see it, actually, because we're pretty excited about it all.
Yes. Oh, we will be reporting live, not live. We'll be there alive, but we'll be on location at the Alamo Drafthouse in Raleigh, North Carolina, for the premiere of Ghostbusters Afterlife. At least the premiere to us.
Correct. And, we should clarify, we'll probably be filming either before or after, and not necessarily during the show.
Or both.
I think they might get us for that.
Maybe we'll just record the whole movie.
I will enjoy some of their
show
delicious
it to
Parmesan
you.
fries.
Parmesan fries.
Parmesan fries, yes.
Yeah, the Alamo's great. Alamo Drafthouse. If there's one near you, go hang out there.
You definitely should. It's my favorite place. Nice, comfortable seats. If you're a moviegoer, comfortable seats is where it's at, in my opinion.
And also, free video rentals, like movies that you can't find anywhere else. Some like real cinematic treasures. They do free rentals.
Yeah, there's literally a whole VHS section. They also have a bunch of really cool old school t-shirts. Like, it really has just this old horror flick vibe about it.
Yeah, it's a great place. It's definitely the place to be as far as movies go here in Raleigh.
For sure. And to be fair, who doesn't want to order a beer without leaving their seat while watching the movie?
And I don't know if they want to sponsor this show. Wink. I mean, you can always pay us, and we'll keep saying nice things.
To be fair, you can not pay us, and we'll continue to say nice things. We really like you.
Maybe. Or maybe the tides will turn.
Don't believe him. He's full of lies. Yes. All right, so let's talk about a topic matter. Let's go on number one, Skyrim.
Number one, on November 11th of this year, Veterans Day. I got the best Veterans Day gift of all time, and Bethesda allowed me to purchase Skyrim again from them, which I've only been able to do 5 or 6 times now.
Is it still the same game?
This one is no, not really. There's some different stuff. So obviously, the Skyrim modding community is one of the biggest and craziest, and they're a bunch of rascals. Those kids making their video game. It's funny. Back in our day, we just played a video game. Now these kids today, they gotta change it and make it what they want it to be. They control reality.
Well, to be fair, I think we also did that growing up. I mean, there was Super Mario 3.
Well, you didn't get to make it until Mario Maker.
Yeah.
And I made Doom levels in the 90s, but still.
That was the best, actually. We had this talk about death.
Doom.
I loved Wolfenstein. That was my jam.
New Skyrim, the anniversary edition. Lots of new stuff. They added new pets. They added a fishing mechanic. There's a survival version of the game where you actually have to pay attention to your temperature, and you have to sleep, and you have to eat food and stuff.
The temperature thing, that's pretty interesting.
Well, yeah, but the thing about Skyrim is it's such a big game that you don't pay attention most of the time to little roleplay things like
different races have different temperatures they've got to stay around. That'd be pretty interesting.
I haven't played that way yet, so we'll have to find out. But
because you always play the same character.
I change it around. I love my Nords, but I also love my Khajiits, my cat folks. I'm here For all you cat folks out there. Khajiit has wares if you have coin. Yeah, it's great. But they added a lot of new fun stuff. There's new armors and new weapons and you can get horse armor. So my horse looking all good as we ride
That's pretty
around.
cool.
Yeah, it's fun. And my wife and I started a new campaign, a new character, and we've been running through it. It's been at least 6 months since I played Skyrim. So
so they knew what they were doing.
yeah,
They knew they were like, look,
They
people
knew
just
that I'd
aren't
taken a
still
break.
playing it 10 years later. We got to redo it, kind of.
well, we've been waiting for Elder Scrolls 6 since Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim. And
Is
like
that
I said,
how it works?
that's how it works. But we're talking another 10 years. You know, it's 10 years since the last one. And they haven't released the new one. It's going to be, and now, well, Jeremy, the issue that I'm having is, as a PlayStation owner, Microsoft just bought Bethesda. So there's a chance that Elder Scrolls 6 might end up being
Xbox only?
only.
All right.
Which I'm not a fan of. And hopefully it doesn't happen. That's
I
what
was
we're
always
hoping.
an Xbox guy. I started with PlayStation, but once I got my first Xbox, it was like Xbox until they all broke and I was too poor to afford any more systems, which is where I'm at currently.
Yeah, I went I mean, I didn't have a PS1, but I had a PS2 for a while, and then actually I had a PS2 deployed. We had one. And then I got a PS3 because the PS3 was great because it also doubled as a Blu-ray player.
Yeah,
And a
I
lot
had
of
the
other stuff
PS2
wasn't.
and the PS3, and I
Yeah.
think that's when I never had the original Xbox, but I got in the line when the 360 came out, I think.
Yeah. See,
Oh.
I could never get the controller down. What are you doing with you put the two sticks next to each other?
Oh man, see, the
It's
controller is the
asymmetrical.
whole reason I changed. That PlayStation was like this little tiny child hand controller thing,
Oh.
and the Xbox I could just hold for a substantial amount of time. That's what I like
Yeah.
so much about it. It was comfortable to play. I could destroy people on Halo for long amounts of time.
Well, that's what you want.
Yeah,
That's what you're
that's
looking
the whole
for.
reason. That's what it's all about. That
It
that
is.
was literally the whole reason I made the switch from PlayStation to Xbox.
Yeah,
No-
I've just
nothing
never been
else behind it.
comfortable with it. I've never really gotten good with it. With
The Xbox
the
controller?
Xbox controller. Yeah, I can do the PlayStation in my sleep, but I recently just installed all the original Doom games on my PS4, and I've been
All right.
playing through those. Classic
See, the only
game.
gaming system I have right now is the Nintendo Switch, which I will honestly say is the best gaming system I've ever owned. It's so cool that you can take it around and then you plug it into a dock, and then that dock is just like puts it up on your TV, 4K on your TV, just like that.
Well, you know what you can do with that Nintendo Switch?
What
You
can I
can
do?
play Skyrim's Anniversary Edition. Out now.
More Skyrim.
Yeah, play Skyrim.
I've never
Everybody
played it.
should play Skyrim. It is the best RPG fantasy game. And if you disagree, you're not here and you don't have a microphone. So,
Well, my whole problem is that for the longest time, I actually played World of Warcraft from I was playing Warcraft actually when it was like Warcraft 3, way back in the day when it was a top view battle game. Used to Blade Master harass people. It was the best. Then World of Warcraft, and I was obsessive about that for such a long period of time. It takes up so much of your life, and it isn't until you stop doing it and you look back and you're like, wow, I spent a whole lot of time clanning it up in World of Warcraft. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, just saying it started affecting my whole life in general. So that's why World of Warcraft kind of went away. And then I started liking more arcade style games. You know what I mean? These games that you could literally just play for 10 minutes and be done with. I started to kind of lose hope or lose that feeling I used to have about those immersive video games.
see, I love the story.
Yeah.
So, for me, if you give me an opportunity to be a character I want to be and put me in a world where I can just go do anything and I don't have to follow any specific schedule or anything like that, I'm happy. And I can play through Skyrim. It's such a different game if you play as like a barbarian who uses a two-handed axe versus if you play as a Khajiit with a bow and arrow and you max out your sneak. It's a completely different game.
Oh,
We're playing sword and shield versus playing a magic user. There's so many options, and it's just a fun way to. I don't know. I love it. I love Skyrim. And the food looks delicious.
that's one of the things I really liked about World of Warcraft too, is the different ways you can follow a character and have a completely different gameplay. I do like that aspect, but I think what really killed me, especially when it comes to World of Warcraft, is that it's great being able to play with all of these people online, but it also sucks not being able to pause and just like go back to regular life if you need to.
That's a beautiful thing about Skyrim, because it removes the problem of other people being around. You are the only person in the universe. If you can have a follower who's like your character's best friend, and if they have money, you can check their inventory and you can just take it.
Your money is my money,
Because
friend.
like, yeah, you wouldn't do that in real life if it's a friend of yours, but
Well, some people wouldn't do that.
they can't spend it. They're not a real person. You're the only thing in that entire universe that matters and has agency. So why not?
So you never encounter other people when playing the game? It isn't kind of like
No, it's a one-person
Turok?
game. It's just a one-player game.
Huh.
It's a full open world like Grand Theft Auto. It's a full open world, but you're the only player. So
All
there's
right.
no reason to leave
So like
something
original
behind
Grand Theft Auto. I think Grand Theft Auto now is multiplayer, right?
Grand Theft, well, they may be the new one, but Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto 4,
Yeah.
I think.
San Andreas,
or
the best
3.
one.
San Andreas was fun. Or Vice City. I played Vice City. a
Oh
lot.
yeah, that one's fun too.
Yeah. And,
Man, all these old good video game
yeah.
memories.
But no, the role play. That's why I loved Cyberpunk 2077 so much.
That's the one game that I do actually really, really, really want to play.
Oh, you do.
I should
You
just
sure
download
do.
it on Steam. I'm sure it's on there.
You can. Yeah, if you're going to play on PC, that's a good way to do it. I played on a base model PS4, which is the worst way you can possibly do it.
Yeah, I thought that was very hilarious when PlayStation released the Cyberpunk PlayStation with the game, but then the system couldn't handle the actual gameplay.
Yeah, there were some problems.
I thought that was hilarious.
I'm not defending CD Projekt Red or saying they didn't just blatantly lie to everyone when they said the game was done. But what I will say is, I waited about 6 months and then played it after a bunch of patches. It crashed about as much as Assassin's Creed Valhalla does.
Okay, so
Where
how's it now?
It's fine.
But you played it on PlayStation. You haven't played it on PC,
No,
right?
I haven't. But
Okay.
man, it's just the story alone. It wins for
Yeah.
me. The amount of things you can do. There's nothing. There's almost nothing you can't do
Uh-huh.
in that game. It offers so many cool opportunities for role play, and it's such a cool version of the future. I've always loved cyberpunk. It's one of my favorite, subgenres of science fiction.
For sure.
And man, they just really brought that world to life, and it was a lot of fun to hang out there. I still haven't quite finished. I have a few more endings I've yet to complete, but glitches and stuff aside, those are a problem because they take you out. They take you out of the immersion.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But-
when you're dealing with something so complicated and
Yeah.
so overwhelming like that,
But like everything else, if you want to like it,
yeah,
you can.
yeah, true that.
It's an amazing thing
No,
about humans.
I do want to play it. Like I said, I have been getting a little bit more back into video games since getting the Switch. I feel like it was kind of my lead back into what was going on. And I saw they just re-released like Star Wars, the Republic Knights or Old Knights.
Or
whatever.
Knights of the Old Republic.
There we go.
Or
Knights
there's
of the
a,
Old
no, there's a
Republic.
remake coming. They're
It-
remaking it for
Switch. They
PS.
just
Oh, they
remade
were
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing a full remake of that game for next gen consoles.
All right.
For the PS5 and then the new one. It hasn't come out yet.
I saw
They
the new
probably just
Battlefront is going to be coming
remastered.
out soon
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I love Battlefront. I guess Battlefront 2 was the last
That's the
one.
mo-
I
yeah.
played that one for a while. That one, see, that goes that I think games like that are kind of a good mix because even though you can't pause in the middle of playing, it's only 20 minutes long per round
sure.
or something
Yeah.
like that. So stuff like that, like I said, I think World of Warcraft just killed it for me.
Hey.
It was too much.
If it's
That's
in
too
it,
much.
we all have our struggles, and
Nope.
you had a WoW addiction. Makes
I
sense.
did indeed. All right, so let's talk about American Airlines and this facial recognition software. So here's the whole goal they say behind it all. Now, what they want to do is speed up the process of dropping off your bags and picking up your bags. So you won't have to stand in this ridiculously long line.
Okay, so at this point,
It's beta, and I think it's being released just in JFK or it's one New York place. One of the New York airports. It's either LaGuardia or JFK. I can't remember. But like I said, it's a beta. It's not only American Airlines. Some other airline does it as well. I can't remember exactly which one it was, so I don't want to state it. But like I said, it's like a beta platform. And what they're trying to do is, like I said, it'll be the same thing when you're actually going into your flight. So the way you now have to go through metal detectors and everything, instead they're trying to base it off of all facial recognition software and no hands.
so what? When I get off a plane and I need to go pick up my bag from the luggage, the baggage claim.
Uh-huh.
I go over there, and then eventually it shows up, and I take it and leave.
So theoretically,
where does the facial recognition fit in?
so the way it works when you first get to the airport is whenever you're dropping off like checked bags or something like that. If you ever go to the airport now, then you know you got to stand in the line, wait for them. They verify that it's you. They put the little tag on your luggage. They put it on the thing, and then you can go walk into the line to get into the actual airport where all the terminals are.
Security line.
Yeah, exactly. So they're trying to eliminate that one step. So you'll be able to walk up to basically a machine. It will facially recognize you, and then it will you just kind of put your bag in the thing, and it automatically recognizes it. Oh, whoa. So it basically recognizes you, it tags your bag as such, and brings it back just like the regular luggage.
Okay.
Now, whenever you get to your destination, you go to pick up your bags, if you will. But on the way to picking up your bag, facial recognition scanners are checking out who you are. So all the bags are kind of lined up in where they need to be. So you don't have to sit there and wait along the carousel. At least that's the way I understand it to be. So instead of waiting along the carousel, as you're walking down the line, they'll be able to recognize which one is you, and it goes into your little slot behind the person who's in front of you. Like, I find it's kind of weird because, like I said, they're trying to speed up the process, but I just don't understand how much speed facial recognition could give to this one thing in particular.
Yeah, I don't really understand, because
so my question is it a ploy?
They don't check to see who you are when you pick up your bag.
Yeah, they do now, actually. Now, whenever you pick up your bag and you're leaving the airport, you have to show someone your luggage tag that matches the tag that was put on it by the tagger. So you know how they have the big sticker piece that goes around the handle?
Yeah.
They rip a piece off of that and they give it to you. And that's like, hey, this is the number associated with your baggage. So if it gets lost, they know how to find it. And whenever you pick up your bag and you're going to leave from all the little carousels, there's a person standing there, and they check your ticket number with the ticket number on your bag to make sure you're not taking someone else's bag.
See, I've never seen that. It hasn't been that way I've never seen that before. That's
how it was. I don't know if that's like new pandemic status kind of thing, but
I mean,
over the past 3 years,
it's
always been like that.
It's all, anytime you go, you pick up your luggage, you just grab it.
That's
and
how
then,
that's
walk
how
out the door. It's not even like in the security area anymore.
Well,
yeah. Well, there you go.
So here's my question. we both just debated the topic for 2 minutes tops, so we know everything about it, obviously.
Sure.
So let's talk more
we're
about
experts.
it. Exactly. Here's my real question: is that are they also trying to pull a Facebook on us and just sell our facial data?
So
that would be my big thing.
If they're gonna do facial recognition, I would assume that you would probably have to like upload a picture of your face when you buy your ticket or something. Or you would have
now it's a beta program,
specific profile associated with the airline or with the federal government, like a driver's license photo that they use or something like that. I don't know. I mean, facial recognition, it's gonna just keep going more and more. That's why one of the reasons I'm kind of cool with masks.
Yeah, I know everyone's complaining about the mask, but I'm like, do you know how long I've wanted to just wear a mask in public and not have anyone look at me like I'm an idiot? I mean, granted, people still look at me like I'm an idiot when I wear the mask now.
Sure,
but at least I have a reason to wear it now.
Yeah, there's a whole pandemic's worth of reasons. I'm not exactly like first in line for the surveillance state rollout. You know, that's doesn't exactly sound fun.
No, and 1985 for you?
You know, the facial recognition stuff, they've been using it for a while, and they're just going to keep doing it more and more. So I guess if it'll help us get through, they're going to do it anyway. At least if it's going to get us through the airport faster.
In either China or Japan, I don't remember which one off the top of my head, but the guards there wear like these sunglasses that scan everyone's face that walks by looking for criminals. It's like an instant reach out database. It's in its beta stages as well. Like, I don't think everyone has it, but that's where it's all coming realistically.
Yeah, it's not, doesn't it really sound like a fun future, does it? It sounds pretty fucking Cyberpunk 2077. That's what it sounds like to me.
I know. I'm tired of carrying around my cell phone. Can't you just implant it into my arm and use the bioelectricity to power it? Like when is this cyberpunk future coming?
Well, according to the game, in 2077.
2077.
Well, no, it's actually before that because in the game,
Can we upload our brains in case we die before then? That's got to come soon.
you
huh?
can. Well, that's sort of the story of the game. It talks about like kind of that technology being
Okay.
developed. Keanu Reeves' character in the game, Johnny Silverhand, he was a punk rock sort of Che Guevara-esque rebel terrorist.
Good rebel name drop for sure.
But he in the game he actually died in I think 2023, and he had a robot arm
Okay.
already as
Well,
Johnny
those kind of
Silverhand.
exist right now.
They do, and there's actually I just read an article. They're working on prosthetics that give the user a sense of touch.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
So
that
we're gonna
also.
have prosthetics that can feel and computers that plug right into your brain from Neuralink. That's the other Elon Musk
So we can
company,
all be,
isn't it?
We can all be matrixed up, eventually plugged up.
I that's about as cyberpunk as it gets. And then once you move on from there to stuff like the metaverse, I mean,
Oh my god,
it sounds stupid.
metaverse.
Everybody hanging out in a virtual room.
doing work.
Like, I don't want to hang out with a bunch of memojis.
I literally saw a video clip of an avatar walking down a hallway, opening a file cabinet, pulling out a file, and bringing it back. It's like, isn't that what we decided computers were for? So we didn't have to do that.
Yeah, that's a boring version. But a real version of the metaverse, something like from Shadowrun, that you're talking about like an AR overlay
That's more appealing to
in
me.
everything in the real world.
Though it is terrifying. I watched a video of this guy on YouTube the other day. If I can find it again, I'll put the link up right over there. But it was amazing the way he talked about the integration of AR into our future, and he did like a bunch of graphic overlays of like what it would actually be like. And I don't know if you've seen Free Guy yet, but that is kind of exactly what I picture it to look like. Free Guy is a great example of like someone just putting on some shades, the user shades that make them a user, and like the AI or the AR overlay, should I say, is crazy. It's coming. Whether
No,
we
it's
like it or
definitely
not.
coming. At a certain point, you'll have your Apple glasses or whatever, and you'll be able to look into your kitchen at your microwave sitting on the counter, and Toshiba or whatever will pop up above it, and it would be a link you can click. I mean, you can activate things. That's what it's gonna be like very, very soon. And then, like I said, the only thing we're missing is the collapse of the federal government.
Yes, world domination.
That's got to be imminent, right? We'll just have the corporations in charge of everything.
Makes sense. They already are.
They sure are. So a little good old fashioned destabilization. We throw in some natural disasters brought on by global warming.
Oh man,
We're going to be cyberpunk as you can be.
talking about corporate takeover. Have you seen the canoe concept that's taking on Tesla?
No.
And it's basically they've redesigned the skateboard platform like that you hold all the batteries in, and they've invented like an actual drive-by-wire, so a wireless system that doesn't have to be connected. So they have multiple different. They basically have like 50 different variants that you can put on the top, and then you can just change out the whole top to the whole bottom. So instead of owning multiple cars, you just own multiple tops of cars, and the platform change. And there's no like, since it's all drive-by-wire, there's no disconnecting of the platform. And they start at $33,000.
That's crazy.
They are super affordable. I watched a video all about them yesterday, and I was like, mind blown. Now, granted, let me say one thing about them is they're kind of ugly.
I believe that.
They're just too futuristic, I think, in my opinion, to actually capture the market. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
But their box style trucks are very good looking. Their consumer style car and truck is very futuristic looking. It's kind of like, but the other one, like the actual business truck, like a delivery van or like a food truck, they have so many different builds out, but they look really cool.
Delivery van, that's the way to go, right?
Yeah, man, there's a whole bunch of cool little things about it. But yeah, so to bring it all back around, facial recognition software, I do think it is valid and a valuable software. I think it can be used to help people that are like paraplegics that only have the ability to use their face to do so many things than they can do now. But why in the hell does American Airlines need it? That's all I want to know.
It's I hate to say that it's a slippery slope because that's lame, but
We've already slipped that slope.
yeah, it's look, any tool since, at a certain point in human evolution, a sharp rock was the greatest technological innovation of all time. The unifacial hand axe of the Acheulean tradition would have been the day's iPad. That's great. Technology changes, but just like with that sharp rock, you can use it for good or evil. It's all just about who's in charge and who has access to that. And is access equal? Obviously, there's no way to get around, surveillance in that sense. We're already being surveilled a lot. We're already being tracked. We got crazy people talking about tracking devices in a vaccine who run around with an iPhone. Yeah. That literally tracks them all the time, and they keep click and agree every time it asks.
They've got the ring that links up with their significant other, so you can feel the heartbeat.
You have all that tracking going on, but think about this. Think about the Enterprise. When you're on the Enterprise, it's recording and tracking everything you do, right?
Yeah.
Because as soon as you say computer, it knows it's listening. It has to be listening to do that. I mean, you can literally play back, oh no, there was a disaster. What happened? You go to the holodeck and it recreates everything because everything's being recorded.
And you don't really need money in Star Trek, right?
Well, no, they don't have money. No, they're past money. That's a utopian society. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's your utopia. Cyberpunk is your dystopia, and then us, we're the regular topia.
Yeah,
the medium topia. You never know. I don't know. I can see the benefits, and on the Enterprise, it's great because Picard is never going to use that surveillance to oppress people.
Yeah, but you didn't really need to.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But we're not heading towards that.
No, that is for sure. We are definitely not heading towards that.
I think we're going the opposite direction.
Yeah, we're going more Terminator style.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Lots of mountains of skulls to climb. It'll be good times.
Machines to kill us all.
Exactly.
Hopefully, if we're lucky enough. Or we can just robotic arm it. Maybe we'll be the machine.
Hey,
I think that's the real future, is the integration of man and machine.
No, it definitely will. Yeah, that'll happen. I mean, you can already make the argument that the way most people use their phones these days is like a prosthetic for your brain.
Oh, for sure. It's an appendage. And if you're missing it, your brain definitely knows you are missing it.
Yeah.
It is looking for it.
You don't have access
mode.
Yeah, you don't have access to knowledge that you normally do. So we're going to keep integrating. I mean, we've been doing it since we started making tools.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah. So all the way back to Homo Habilis. He's the fossil hominid of the week. Homo Habilis. Everybody give him a hand. The handyman, that's his name.
Josh
Homo
is not
habilis.
making fun of anyone, for the record. This is a real thing.
Yeah, Homo Habilis. He was technically thought to be he was named Homo Habilis, habilis meaning handy, because they use their hands. They're the first fossil hominid that we found evidence of stone tool manufacture.
Oh.
So it's actually going to fall probably somewhere between, I think 1.5 to 2.5 million years ago. But late Australopithecines into Homo habilis, and then it was fully, a lot of that stuff was kind of fully locked in by the time you get to Homo erectus. But you actually see biological change. That's what my thesis was about in grad school. The styloid process of the third metacarpal, because there's this lump on the end of your bone, on the end of your metacarpal here in your wrist.
What you mean?
That little the little bump that sticks out, it's not very it expresses itself in different ways in different people. Sometimes it's a bone by itself, sometimes it's attached to the third metacarpal, sometimes it's attached to the capitate or hamate or some of the other carpal bones. But the cool thing about it is, like, we can tell that it's a new adaptation because the rest of the hand is under like real strict control, like genetic control. There's not many things that can go wrong with your hand. You can be born without some fingers and stuff, but generally the hand only develops one way, except for that one little spot. And what we found is that little spot, the styloid process, actually creates a junction in the wrist that provides for about 3 degrees of flexion and tension, but it reinforces the wrist for if you were doing manual work like flint knapping, banging on rocks. So what we may actually see is that humans have that feature primarily due to a cultural behavior of our forebears. So because those guys were making stone tools, it changed our bodies
that makes sense
to be better at making stone tools.
Yeah,
it's fun stuff. So we've always been deeply connected with our tools and with the things that we make and we use. It's the way we interact with our environment. And those tools just keep getting more and more complex. And eventually they will just be part of us. Eventually you will be able to see things. Seeing and taking video will be like the same thing.
Yeah.
Assuming we make it to that point, or we just all get wiped out. That's the other possibility.
Now hold on, that's a whole lot of science. I don't know if we believe in science around here.
Oh, well, we sure do. Here at Unsolicited Conjecture, we are pro-science. So any scientists get 10% off your subscription. We don't. There's no subscription. This is all free.
No, that's good. 10% off your subscription.
But if you're a scientist, 10% off of free.
Let's talk about something happier.
Something happier.
Happier? More exciting. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man.
The trailer last night, the newest and final, we believe, trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home came out last night. And we put it on the TV, the old YouTubes on the TV, and I held my breath through the entire thing. That was an incredible trailer.
It was.
They came right out and said some things that had been, theorized and hinted at before. But we know, like we said last time on the first episode of Unsolicited Conjecture, we'll have the little.
We still haven't officially said that was the first episode. It could have been the 100th episode.
That's true. But the little pop-up bubbles, webheads will remember.
Last week.
Well, we said that. Wait, what did we say? I don't even remember what I was saying.
We were talking about Spider-Man No Way Home.
But what was
how
I
amazing
say about
it was. I don't know. I can distract you.
Okay. So on our previous episode, I mentioned how in the comics after Civil War, Peter went to Doctor Strange to try to put the secret back in the bag, or the cat back in the.
I think this was just a personal conversation you and I had, and we didn't talk about it on the show.
No, I think it was on there.
Maybe.
I think it was on there. Doesn't matter. Last time we mentioned that's confirmed. That's all, but that's confirmed. Doctor Strange says to Peter in the trailer, when you botched that spell. So
let's Scooby-Doo it.
We know that he tried to cast a spell on the whole world to make everyone forget he's Spider-Man, but I'm sure he realized then also MJ.
It does seem like a very selfless and heroic thing to do, I think.
Sure, but he realized then that MJ would also forget, and Ned would forget, and he didn't want that to happen.
Yeah, we got that information from the previous trailers.
He said it in this trailer.
Did he say? I know the last trailer that I watched, they went in pretty big detail over that part in particular.
Yeah.
Like he said specifically, oh no, Mary Jane, Ned.
Yeah. So we know that's happening. We see Doc Ock saying, "You're not Peter Parker."
And then
which
they
is
laugh
great.
at him.
Well, yeah, they laugh at him
they
whenever
laugh at him
his
for his
name,
name.
Otto Octavius.
I also thought it was funny the way he kind of looks like he jumped out of the Matrix. He went from Spider-Man to the Matrix, and then now Spider-Man again. He's all blacked up, like looking gangster with sunglasses.
Yeah,
I know, but think of his last trench coat. I think it was brown, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's always been green.
I don't know, man. He looked very less Matrixy last.
I thought he looked perfect. He looks like he's straight out of the Sam Raimi movies. That's what Doc Ock has always been to me. And the fact that we got Alfred Molina back as Doc Ock again, I love it. I'm very excited, and you get the sense from this newest trailer that he's gonna be a sympathetic character.
Oh, for sure, for
He's
sure.
definitely gonna be a sympathetic character.
You get the gist that at the end, Peter's trying to save him.
Yeah,
That's what I get from
fighting
it.
against Doctor Strange.
Exactly.
Who's trying to get rid of all these variants.
No matter what, their fate is to die to you. And Peter's like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, so that's pretty big. And also, the big conspiracy that's been all over the place.
In Josh's mind.
Well, I've seen other people talk about it too, but as we were watching that trailer last night, this is the second way through, I made sure to pause it, and I told my wife, like, they're messing with that scene. They took something out there. Because it just looks like a bad shot. Spider-Man's all the way in the back, and he's web swinging from the left corner of the screen. He's tiny, and he's web swinging towards Electro and Sandman and the Lizard.
Yeah. Lightning flash.
And I just thought it looked weird, because there's nothing in the foreground of the shot. It's just an odd, bad shot. It just didn't look very good. Come to find out, the Brazilian trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home also dropped, and there's a similar shot, but you can see Rhys Ifans' the Lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man. He takes a punch, and there's nothing in front of him. So, just like NASA has been covering up all of the alien moon bases and airbrushing them out of the moon pictures, Disney is clearly airbrushing Spider-Man out of its own Spider-Man movie. There have to be multiple Spider-Men. We're going to get Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
I'm excited to see that because none of the previews have showed that, but all the behind-the-scenes footage have leaked that.
Well, it's been rumored for a long time, and I say I'm very tentative about this because I thought a lot of fun things were going to happen both in Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision and Loki, and there's a lot of theories that seemed sure to happen that did not. But I say this now. If Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are not in Spider-Man No Way Home, we're going to burn this fucking planet to the ground.
Boycott.
Disney. We're going to purge, motherfuckers.
To be fair, Disney's ruined a lot of things that we love.
Well, I'm fine with Disney right now. They're doing a good job with Star Wars. They're doing a good job with the Marvel stuff. I think they're doing all right.
I saw an article that said, what's her name is actually coming back to the Mandalorian.
I don't think that's true.
I've seen that.
Honestly. Gina Carano.
There you go.
There's some YouTube channels, and some Star Wars news channels that will literally say anything.
Yeah, I've seen some of those actually.
They're all bad, and they don't do anyone any favors. It's just clickbait stuff. And then you start seeing other, like, so-called reporters or journalists citing those videos. Gina Carano, I do not think, is coming back.
I also don't think so.
For no other reason than she's completely unnecessary. She was fine. I really liked her in the first 2 seasons. I thought she was a fun character.
They were even debating a spinoff for her or something, right?
She was going to be basically the main character in the what do they call it? The New Republic, the sort of like New Republic cop show, whatever it was going to be.
Oh, the one that's supposed to have like the all female cast.
Well, no, it's just going to be like the Knights. It was the Knights of the New Republic. I don't remember what it was called.
That's okay. We don't need names for things that don't exist.
But then the rumors came out that Gina Carano, that character in that series, the New Republic, like X-Wing cops, that was going to be replaced with Hera Syndulla, who's a character who was introduced in Star Wars Rebels, the animated series. Great character, great show. Absolutely. Most of the characters from Star Wars Rebels are going to be making their way into live action.
Yeah.
Because it's
people already know them.
And it's Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni did those shows. He's doing the big stuff now, and yeah. So we're gonna definitely see, some of those guys showing up. But really, really exciting though. Really excited about Spider-Man. And
I'm also excited. I'm excited to see if Venom is in it, but we know it's not going to be Tom Hardy's Venom. It's going to be what's his name, Venom, from Tobey Maguire's days.
We don't know. Here's the thing: I have not.
Topher Grayson, that's his name, right?
Topher Grace, yeah.
Grace. There we go.
I have not yet seen Venom: Let There Be Carnage.
Me neither.
I haven't seen it yet, but
we were
I know
actually supposed to go see it, and we never managed to.
we didn't. It didn't happen.
Unfortunate.
There's supposedly some type of stinger post-credit scene that I guess ties it in with Spider-Man. I don't know what it is. I've specifically tried not to see it or find out yet, because I want to make sure you guys don't know either. So I haven't seen it yet, but once we see that movie, we'll have a better idea. I don't think Venom's going to be featured very heavily. We already saw 5 of 6 of the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why it makes me think
reveal,
like
the real big, and we already knew that we were getting Alfred Molina back, and we were all pretty sure that we were getting Willem Dafoe back.
Yeah.
But now to see we're getting Sandman and the Lizard.
That's what makes me think. 'Cause Sandman and
Electro.
Yeah. Well, Sandman and Venom were kind of in the same movie for the first Spider-Man, weren't they? They were both the same villain in the same.
Yeah, maybe we would get. Maybe we might see Topher
Man,
Grace.
speaking
I don't
of
know.
Venom, like how do you feel about them taking Venom and turning him into like a good guy in the way the new Venom movies seem to be going?
I mean, Venom became sort of an anti-hero when he got his own comic run. Obviously, he was introduced as a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, for sure.
And a spin-off from, what was it, Secret Wars, when he got the alien. Peter got the alien suit. His suit got destroyed when he was fighting in space, and they're like, "Here, take this suit. It's gooier, and also it's alive. And
and it meshes with
turn
you.
evil. Yeah, but he didn't know that at the time. So it's just a way to reboot the suit. But yeah, so we'll find out. I don't know. I those comics, his original comics, the Venom series, he became sort of an anti-hero. He's always hated Spider-Man, but he's not. Eddie Brock's not necessarily a bad guy.
No, just Venom is pretty crazy.
Humans,
yeah, exactly.
So there's that, which is tough when you're trying to be cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see, and that's the other thing. I don't think that Tom Holland would be a very good fit, like fighting against Tom Hardy as Venom. That would be a super weird movie, right? I don't know. Like, you just look at Tom Hardy, they'll like, why are you fighting a child?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Man, we've had our discussions about him in the past.
Yeah. Well, I love Tom Hardy. He's great.
No, not Tom Hardy.
Tom Holland?
Yeah.
I love Tom Holland too. I just think the age gap looks weird because Eddie Brock, I always understood Eddie Brock to be, a guy who worked with Peter at the Daily Bugle.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't do that if one's in high school and the other's 40.
Yeah.
But Toby and Andrew, what if we get one of those Spider-Men spinning off into the Venom movies?
Man.
I would much rather see Andrew Garfield fighting Tom Hardy as Venom.
I agree. That
would be fun. And I would like to see that very much. And here's another thing, while we're still talking Spider-Man, before we move off. Lots of talk, about, who's coming back. What nobody's ever mentioned, or I haven't heard really anybody talk about, Emma Stone. Emma Stone was Gwen Stacy.
Yep.
She died kind of at the hands of Spider-Man, much like all these other villains. They said in the trailer, they all died at the hands of Spider-Man. Gwen Stacy died, but Gwen Stacy's also Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, that's true.
What if we got to see, Emma Stone as Spider-Gwen in this movie?
I'm surprised no sort of Spider-Gwen has not popped up so far in any of the movies.
Only in the animated, only into the Spider-Verse.
I know, and wouldn't it be great if those characters popped up in the movie too?
And also, I need to do a retraction. Not really a retraction, but maybe, sort of. I rewatched The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I liked it way more this time. I don't know. I remember having a problem with Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I said so last week on camera. I'm like, that one's not as good. It's not as good.
No,
I was right.
It's not as good.
It's not as good, but it is
still good.
It's still good.
Yeah.
It's still fun. There's a lot of fun stuff in there. I just thought it was such a strange tonal choice because for me, it always felt like the Sam Raimi trilogy was like the original, like, Golden Age or Silver Age, like Steve Ditko.
Yeah, for sure,
That's the classic.
It's like watching Casablanca.
Yeah, it's like, it's Peter with round glasses as a nerd, that sort of thing. With Amazing Spider-Man, I always felt more of like a Todd McFarlane kind of Spider-Man
Uh-huh.
feel to
A
it.
little punkier.
Yeah, I just that style of the comics too, just the art style, the way he moves, the way he looks. It just felt more like the kind of Todd McFarlane Spider-Man.
Yeah, he had that kind of lankier look, for lack of a better term.
So, but it's just weird that like the way they set up Jamie Foxx's character,
Uh-huh.
talking to himself all the time. It reminds you of like Jim Carrey as the Riddler from Batman Forever.
Uh-huh.
So he's sort of like a much sort of hackier kind of character in a darker, more serious movie. Is a why I don't know. It's just tonally kind of didn't really mesh as well for me.
Uh-huh.
Like, why are you a Joel Schumacher villain when you're being campy in the movie that like the last ones were the campy ones, but this is not.
Well, they were probably trying to regain a little bit of that old appeal, if you will.
Maybe they were. I don't know. I don't know if it worked.
Man, going back to the new trailer for Spider-Man, what's up with the whole Doc Ock arm changing into what looks like Stark armor?
Well, we know that one of the suits that Peter has is nanotech.
Yeah, but this is Ock.
Yeah, but his tentacles have their own AI.
Uh-huh.
So I'm assuming when my guess, if I had a gun to my head, literally when Doc Ock grabs Spider-Man, his tentacles probably detect the nanoparticles and he kind of takes them.
Huh.
And I think that's why, they integrate into
I was thinking maybe Peter going against Strange, like, hooks Doc Ock up with a more advanced system towards the end of the movie.
I mean, it seems like they turn red and gold like during that first fight.
Yeah, see, it's such a quick shot of it. It's hard to determine where the fight
we won't
scene
know
was.
for sure until the movie. But yeah, it seems to me, I think it just sort of like syncs up and kind of takes control of his nanites, and that's why we see him in other suits.
All right, well, we have two different opinions, and I can't wait to be right.
Yeah, we'll find out.
All right, do you have anything else we really want to talk about in this series, episode, season, show?
No, I think
show. That's what we decided on.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything else we want to talk about in this show?
In this show?
This show?
No, I think that's probably good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
And from all of us here at Unsolicited Conjecture, we just like to say, thanks for watching. Come on back next time. And you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to tell you, hey, like our video, subscribe to our channel. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, we'd prefer if you didn't.
Did you see how I didn't do it?
I was not listening to you.
I know. It's great.
No,
it's
I just wasn't listening. I've zoned out there for a second.
Probably for the best. But we will be back next time. Next episode.
Whether you ask for it or not, we will be back.
That's the whole point of the show. It's unsolicited.
Correct. Music!